Hi everyone, this is Beverly signing on to welcome you all to another Animal Crossing video. The day has come where I finally am starting to work on my island. Now you must be wondering, Beverly, why are we on Pinterest? Well, dear viewer, I have tricked you because joke's on you, we are a long way from actually working on Snoggy, okay? We are in the planning stages, my friend. So there's a lot of ideas that go through my head whenever I try to get inspired to design my island. I turn to Pinterest to get some help and I pin anything that catches my fancy. Now I want to condense these ideas to create a list that is a little easier to handle than the hundreds of saved pins that I have. These are the top aesthetics that interest me the most. There are a few questions that I continually come back to whenever I try to decide on an island theme. That is, what is the inspiration? What season am I going to be in? And what paths and code designs do I need to get in order to incorporate? Starting off, we are in the DLC. I know. I will eventually get there, but this time it's not interiors. We're actually doing exteriors. I really wanted to test out these aesthetics by practicing them one design per house in Happy Home Paradise. If you can't tell already, Gail is going to be our little farm core Goyle since her DLC home is a little house in a prairie. Farm core is a really fun aesthetic to play with. I would say it's one of the easiest and most natural ones that come to me. Oh, you want to grow a bunch of veggies? Well, just slap them in a little dirt square and there you go. You have some farm core. No, really. This design is a balance of having an abundance of veggies and plants as well as having plenty of rustic touches with the use of the large furniture pieces like the windmill or the storefronts. Also, my favorite crop in the game has to be the pumpkins, and if you turn some of the spooky furniture into different angles, it just adds another layer to that farmy feel. And of course, if you slap some custom designs around, you're golden to adding some farm core touches. I also feel like that the farm core aesthetic is the one that benefited the most from the 2.0 update because everyone was able to finally have all kinds of crops added to their designs without working too terribly hard for it. Next off the list of farm core is actually its stepsister, which is known as Cottage Core. Cottage Core is more of a relaxed older sister that enjoys thrifting and exclusively going to coffee shops that aren't Starbucks. Instead of getting deep into the dirt with planting crops in her fields, Cottage Core enjoys quiet moments like reading deeply into a romantic novel on a Sunday afternoon. And rather than having a rustic feel, I interpret Cottage Core as having more of an antique feel. So imagine, if you will, you're in a cottage, right? You got it? There, Cottage Core. But what do you do at a cottage? You read with coffee and you have some picnics with the perfect snacks. So you gotta make little pleasures and little joys. Third, we have the perfect aesthetic to add to an October video, which has to be a fall or Halloween sort of core. Both this design and farm core really benefit with the addition of the wheat field. I kind of was imagining like a haunted house that you're too scared of to walk up on Halloween. Kind of like Monster House, that's what it's called. That movie from like the 2000s. So I definitely wanted to kind of create almost like a maze with this wheat field. And so I needed to place it out properly around this abandoned car that we have here. I'm gonna add in some like little secret treats to be added into this field so that if you ever are stopping or going from any direction, you'll get a surprise as well. Our next design is Forest Core. Now you can probably guess that probably means that we're going to use a whole bunch of trees. I chose to do cedar trees since the outer ring of this island is kind of a lot of hardwood trees. Now I want to make an obscure reference here because down in this forest, I'll be singing a chorus that I don't think a lot of people will know. That's a little lyrical reference to one of my favorite bands, 21 Pilots. It's a song called Forest, so of course I have to implement anything related to forests here. For this design, I wanted to set up little hidden Ghibli-inspired treasures that one would have to look very deep into the forest in order to discover them. Another seasonal related aesthetic here is known as Spring Core. I mainly wanted to focus on designing a kind of picnic here with the wooden bench, and I also wanted to kind of add a I don't even know what to call it, but like I add a whole bunch of statues here, and it's just very romantic and very like elegant and ethereal as well. And of course, you're gonna add a whole bunch of flowers too. And last but certainly not least, we have Fairy Core. So here I remember early Animal Crossing videos in the 2020s when people were designing Fairy Core islands, that they had fairy circles that had tree stumps, or they used their rock gardens or things like that to create this circular shape. So I wanted to implement that as well, but also incorporate some 2.0 update ideas and items. Here we are returned to our list, and we are going to go ahead and answer some of the questions. I think I'm going to lean more towards fall, and I want to use 3 main paths. If you have stayed to this point of the video, I thank you very much. I hope you all have enjoyed my latest design video, and I hope that you can look forward to me finally addressing Snoggy's design. You can definitely see more videos and check them out coming to you very soon. If you feel like sticking around for similar content, please subscribe. This is Beverly signing off. Bye!